Well, thank you again, and thank you for introducing yourselves and getting to know each other very briefly, but hopefully in the next few weeks we'll get to know each other. To begin, I'd like to take a few minutes just to arrive together and settle and get comfortable. I will help that process with a short exercise. It'll take 4 or 5 minutes to just relax and come to the meeting in good form and spirit. So I invite you to close your eyes or take a gentle, relaxed gaze, or if you're in the vehicle, you can just hear my words, Louise. And just listen to my words and come to a settlement of nice relaxation. So I invite you to take a deep breath and inhale. And as you expand your lungs, then slowly exhale. As you exhale, let the tension flow. Maybe things about getting here or getting everything together around dinner. Just let those drain out. Again, take a nice deep breath. And slowly exhale. And if you notice some tension in your body, just recognize it and gently let it go. Again, another deep breath. And as you exhale, arrive in calmness. Let some of that tension that's built up over the day and just relax. Feel that tension flowing through your body. You might let it drain out through your feet, through sitting on the ground. Now you can just gently inhale in the natural rhythm of your breath and exhale. Breathing in, relax, and breathing out, relax. Just letting go. Arriving. Perhaps you can contemplate your intentions for this next hour. What would you like to receive? What would you like to explore? Try to ask yourself what you intend to experience. Now, feeling a bit more comfortable, we'll all start together. I'm going to start by giving a little background of my experience. You can open your eyes and be present. A little bit about my background, and it's a little bit unusual background. And then we'll go into the little bit of a teaching. So I began teaching philosophy and theology in 1987 with the American Foreign School Board in Cartagena, Colombia. And then, and I taught most of my 30 years teaching, I taught basic world religions like Taoism, Judaism, Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, and Buddhism. And so I was teaching my classes a long time ago how to meditate. And back then it was like foreign. I would have calls to to the board or the director and saying, what's going on in that class? They're doing this crazy meditation. And so things have changed over the last 35 years dramatically. Now, like companies like Apple and Google pay their employees to meditate. You get bonuses. And in business, they wouldn't be doing that if there wasn't positivity, there wasn't something that helps. And both for your mental health, physical health, spiritual health. At the same time I was teaching, I was also an entrepreneur. And in 2017, I ended my teaching days and was asked to lecture at a college in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And that practice was lecturing on international business and economics, mostly based on my experience in the business world. So I led two totally different lives. It's a quantum leap going from a spiritual life and teaching about philosophy to one of economics and capitalism. And it's usually oil and water. But I was fortunate enough with the schools that I taught, they allowed me to lecture at certain hours, usually in the morning, and then I would run my businesses after. So I was the owner and CEO of another number of companies. And it was a blessing that I was allowed to do something that I was passionate with, to teach young people, and at the same time, run a corporation. My largest business was movable glass walls, where I built a brand called Monarch Glass Walls, and I began importing and exporting glass extrusions and large windows and doors. And so that company, we imported glass from Austria, from France, Germany, the UK, and then we also imported extrusions from Belgium, China, India, and Ireland, just outside Dublin, in a little town called Escurdy, where we would import these and fabricate the windows and doors in Canada, and then we'd export them. We exported them all over Canada, the United States, Central America, and we built a large building, condo in the Republic of the Congo. So it's quite a varied life. And I would travel to China or to India and make connections, and to Europe. And I would get time off of my lecturing. So while I was building the business, I also had 3 little boys. They're all a year apart. And I was also there, I was a varsity basketball coach. So actually more people in my hometown would know me as a basketball coach, not a businessman or a teacher. I was known as a basketball coach. And then in 2009, my wife had a virus attack her heart, and my 3 boys were 11, 12, and 13. And the paramedics were called, and they saved her from a sudden death cardiac. Actually, the night of my son's first dance, they were talking about, on the couch, talking about the girl that he had danced with, and she collapsed. And she was brought to the hospital, and every day her heart would stop and she would cardiac and flatline 2 or 3 times a day. And so the sirens would ring, and code blue. I think she was 42 at the time. And there was panic, shock. And I sat there holding her hand, petrified, watching this heart monitor for almost a month, almost every day. And she flatlined maybe 34 times. And to make matters worse, we had just started, we put our life savings into a corporation, a Monarch, and I had 9 projects. And so it was chaos, everything from simple things like dealing with customers, employees, and bills and insurance and doctors, to what are the boys going to eat today? Or even more shocking, how will I tell them their mom died? It was like trauma. And the thoughts and worries and fears paralyzed me. I couldn't breathe. And I thought, I can't handle this. And then in that desperate situation, I took a deep breath, and it was just like, and I went to a place where suddenly I was at peace in the middle of a storm. It was just like, wow. And I just began to meditate and in and out of my breath. And I found peace. And I actually found joy. It's kind of weird. And it definitely helped me survive psychologically and physically, to be able to be present in the moment and recognize my emotions and give me a sense of calm. And I was able to let go. Now, it didn't persist. It wasn't easy. I knew that there was a place, but I went back to my own life where little things would set me off. And, and I think some of the things that would bother me, it wasn't like suddenly it was easy. But I began to practice. I wanted to get back there. It was like, so I practiced and practiced and practiced. It became like anything. Like, I can imagine like swimming, and you start getting better and you go, oh, or anything you do in life, you find a passion when you feel good about it. And it sounds perfectly normal to say, I'd like to get in physical shape. Or, I ran and I felt like I was in the zone. And people buy into that. You go into the weight room, you work out, it's normal. But in our society, people don't train their brains. We don't train ourselves to be calm and to enjoy things in the storm. And I have one storm, but everybody I meet have storms. There are so many storms where you just feel like, wow, how do I get through this? Whether it's closing a deal or not closing a deal, or, dealing with your children and they don't listen anymore. I've gone through all that. And you feel like, wow, where am I going in this? And through practicing, you begin to be able to be calm, to call upon it. And our minds are strange because they continuously run rampant and creating immense suffering. My students and employees, and we create fears and pressures and heartbreak and worry. And I'm sure we've all had those experiences of monkey mind, when our brains just doesn't want to stop, right? Just, wow, the voices in my head are going crazy. And much of the thinking about ourselves in the world is either pointless or actively harmful. It's often born of anxiety or envy or self-judgment, right? Or hurt feelings, or so many other negative emotions that pop in. And the irony is that the thoughts actually perpetuate those very states of mind that we hate. And mindfulness allows us to experience your life in the present without ruminating about what just happened, or what should have happened, what has happened, or even what might happen. And it goes to those places where, you bring up, you just want to escape. And there's been other times in my life, little, even simple things, wanting to deal with my 3 boys and having anxious thoughts. So the connection between mindfulness and happiness is very direct. At bottom, mindfulness has the ability to pay attention to what actually matters in your life. It's like you can take that deep breath and say, is this really important? Or who's causing me to feel this way, or to become aware of our feelings? And it's hard to imagine anything more important than a skill to control your present moment, right? Develop the skill of peaceful mind is found in the exercise of mindfulness, just like muscle development is found in weightlifting, or lung development is found in running, all these other things. Mindfulness and meditation helps us to be calm in the middle of a storm. Now, there are many types of meditation practices. Today, we're going to focus on meditation of the breath. The other lessons that I'll do 3 other types, there's many that I practice, but I've chosen the ones that I sent out to you. Meditation of the breath is a type of meditation where you just calmly recognize your breath. And it's a technique found in Vipassana asana meditation, and also known as insight meditation. And with this method, you practice self-observation by focusing on your inner self in non-judgment way. And we get the insight by learning just to be calm and present with your breath. I like to practice this one more than some of the other ones. I'm very big on breath meditation because we breathe all day. And it's at our fingertips to realize when we're getting excited or pressured or down in the dumps, or we have that self-judgment going on. Okay, I can take a deep breath and let it go. And once you practice it, I've found in my life that I can enjoy every moment. And it's helped me do a lot of spectacular things, I think, just by being present, to recognize I'm not going to go there and I'm going to really enjoy this moment. Even the moments that are very uncomfortable. Now, there are moments where they're spectacular, where you can just sit and hear the birds or see the grass. And it's just amazing feeling to be calm and aware of the beauties in life. Now, just before we start our meditation, maybe you can try it. Like, take a deep breath and just let it out. Generally, if you try to, and I don't want to emphasize the technique of breathing, because it's better if you just sit with your normal breath. But I find in those moments, if I take 3 deep breaths and slowly let it go, my anxiety goes. So just take a deep breath. And you can feel maybe tingling in your hands, or just you can feel calmness. Okay. So now we're going to meditate. This will be mindfulness of breath. So just sit comfortably. Maybe you can think about having a certain comfortable posture. You don't have to have a straight posture or anything like that. It's not necessary. Just be comfortable. And as things go, you can find out what you like. I'm just going to get the bell ready. Generally, we start with a bell because it starts the meditation, then we know when it's over. And I'll use a bell today. When you hear the bell, we'll start our meditation. And when the meditation is going to take about 18 minutes, 20 minutes. And then you'll hear the bell. I'll remind you that the bell is going to ring. And the bell rings, and then you can come out of your meditation. Okay? So upon hearing the bell, and then just, you can close your eyes, or you can take a kind of an open-eyed, gentle presence. Okay. So having found a posture that is stable and comfortable, with your eyes either gently closed or gently open, perhaps not looking around, but just a relaxed, present stare. Begin to pay attention to your body, allowing it to relax, and notice the sensations that are here as you pay attention. Coming into stillness. Collecting attention. Opening your heart in a simple way. Just breathing consciously. I invite you to start by maybe a few deep breaths. So let's take a deep breath in, extending it, filling the lungs, and then slowly letting the breath out. And with the breath draining through your body, you might envision it going through your feet into the ground and bringing tension with it. Again, a full deep breath. And then slowly let it go. Be aware of the sensations of relaxing and releasing, just letting go. Once again, a deep breath in, expanding, and then filling the lungs, and then slowly letting the breath out. Follow your breath through your body. Let go, letting go. Now you can let the breath resume. It's just its natural cycle, relaxing with the in-breath, relaxing with the out-breath. Just a very gentle, normal, natural breathing. Relaxing as you breathe in, paying attention as you breathe out. You can notice the degree of presence that sits here. You might notice obvious areas of tightness. You can soften them. Just let go gently. Let the eyes and face be soft. You might feel tension in your neck and shoulders. I invite you just to follow the breath down through your shoulders. Let them drop. A new sense of relaxation. Your palms may rest easily on your lap. Just follow the breath. Soften the belly. Breathing naturally. Let yourself just rest for a moment, being aware of what you notice here as you feel your body relax. If you feel tension, recognize it. You might say, oh, stiff neck, and then let it go. Tension in your arms, just breathe and let it go. Following the breath, breathing in and breathing out. As you sit quietly, you'll notice that there are different thoughts and feelings, sounds that arise and pass, including my words. Just let the sounds and thoughts rise and pass easily like the waves in the ocean. Breathing in and breathing out. Let your mind and body be one with your heart, soften, peaceful. Notice the waves as they come and they go. Simply be present with the feelings and the experiences they pass each moment as you sit. In this space of a kind and relaxed attention, let yourself become aware of the fact of your breathing in the midst of the thoughts, sounds, and the feelings that come and go. You can sense the breath of life. You can sense the feeling of sensations of the rhythm of breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Might recognize the coolness of the breath on the nose, or maybe the tingling in the back of the throat. Just follow your breath. You might feel the breath through the movement of your chest, rise and fall of the belly. Let the breath have its natural rhythm. Sense the breath carefully, focusing as it begins, as it ends. This is a way of connecting the mind to the heart and the body together, here in the present moment. Even if the breath is quite soft, see if you can let your attention become careful and notice the coolness, the tingling, the movement, maybe the vibration. After several breaths, you probably start to notice that your mind is wandering. The wave of thoughts and feelings, sounds come and they go and they carry you off. You can become distracted. And as soon as you notice this wave, you can acknowledge it very simply. There's thinking. There's imagining. I see you, boredom. And just release it. Let it go and notice it. Coming back gently and directly to the feel of the breath. Again, the breath like waves in the ocean. Thoughts come and thoughts go. Feelings come, feelings go. No judgment. Just gently recognize your thought and return to the breath. Notice the waves as they come and go and simply be present. Experience each moment and then be relaxed. Come back to the breath. It's like training a puppy. Stay, stay. You might bring back your mind to the breath like a puppy. If the breath wanders, pick up the puppy and gently return it and say, stay, stay. Begin again. Gently, patiently, training the puppy, bringing your mind back to the breath. There's no need to beat the puppy or be judgmental of the puppy or be judgmental of yourself. It's a gentle training of learning to come back and be present, one breath after the other. Calm, relaxed, centered. Each time the heart wanders or just distracted by thought, just recognize the breath. Come back. Feel the life of the breath, the energy of the breath, the joy of breathing. and being here now. As you begin to end the meditation, I invite you to return back again and again to the breath, to practice being calm and present. Maybe the next time you're in a storm or mood or feelings of judgment, recognize your breath and return. Feeling the relaxation, the peace. The meditation will end at the sound of the bell. I invite you to return here, back to the room. When you feel comfortable, you can open your eyes. Maybe stretch. All right. So at this time, we'll open it up to some questions and answers. You can ask questions about meditation practice or applications, or you may even comment on some of the things you experienced during the meditation. Sometimes they're not always so pleasant. So I open it up just to ask any questions.
Yeah, George, thank you. Thank you for this. This was very lovely. I actually tried to do some breathing exercises today. I took my dogs on a long walk,